Greetings to all ultra runners, and especially runners looking to run there and complete their first 100 miler. I thought I'd do a live take here for of me running at this point as I start my process getting ready for the next 100 mile at the end of this year, 2024. Video you just saw was me starting my training last year in Ormond Beach on the sand, on the beach, beautiful setting, tough sledding, but stamina building, and the views were fantastic, especially the early morning sunrises. Anyway, it's an adventure, and what I hope to do as we go through the next few months is give you some insights into how I prepare and how I have prepared for a sub 30 hour 100 miler. And of course 30 hours sounds like a lot of time for a 100 miler, but it really isn't. And when you get into the actual running of that race, you'll understand more clearly what I'm talking about. And I'll go through some of those lessons that I've learned over time to maybe give you some insights into that struggle and what you might be facing. For some of you, that'll be quite familiar. Others, you probably have never encountered that time between 65 miles and 100 where things just don't always go right. So I'll give you a little bit of insight and background on my running career. Nothing stellar. I'm a journeyman runner, probably average. Currently I'm 64 years old, and I've been running all my life. Started out, like a lot of people, in high school and college, running 5Ks, cross countries and runs and so forth. Nothing competitive, probably below average at that time. I wasn't very disciplined and didn't have the stick-to-itiveness that one needs to succeed. So, but I loved running all along. I got more serious about running in my 30s and started running 5Ks competitively, and was able to get my time down below 20 minutes, which for me was quite a task. I was very proud of that. And when I say sub 20, I mean 2 seconds below sub 20, which obviously is still a good time, but barely qualifies. After that race, where I finally reached that goal, I quit running for the most part till my early 50s. I do the occasional run just to maintain health and weight control and so on, but nothing serious. My early 50s, I started running more disciplined and really studying training programs and strategy, and attempted several half marathons. And my goal was to get a time below 2 hours. And finally, by about age 56, I hit that mark just below 2 hours. I think it was 1 hour 58 and change. And that was it for the half mile for me. As you can see, I'm somewhat goal oriented, and that helps motivate and sustain as you go. So that was a good marker. And then I set my sights on marathons, 26.2 milers, 42K, and different beast compared to the half, but still loved it. really got more serious about that. Never really got a good time, as I wanted to do a sub 4, but that wasn't in the cards. The fastest I ran was 4 hours and 15 minutes, but I enjoyed it. I hooked up with an amazing running partner for a number of the years. It was a marathon, and he was always pushing me to go to higher distances, and ultimately we took a look at ultras, and the ultras were the next goal. And technically a 31 mile is an ultra, so we did that distance in training, checked that box. But we were looking for a great race out, a real professional run type race on a great terrain, and it happened to coincide with the outbreak of COVID in that March 15-16, when where the government pretty much shut everything down. Our race was going to be sometime late that month, and of course they canceled that. But there was a race out in on the Nevada-Utah border called Flat Top, and supposedly a 34 miler. I think we ran 36. So we made it out there. There wasn't canceled, and there were hardly anybody on that race. I think there were 16 of us, but we did it. It was fun. Great terrain, beautiful views, and so we checked that box. Well, my partner immediately said, well, what's next? We've done that. Let's look at 100. And lo and behold, that's what we set out to do. But COVID was still raging. We were looking at the Rocky Raccoon race in Texas, and for the next year, and unfortunately that with COVID limited spots, and there weren't a lot of races, so it was tough to get a spot. So my partner got in, I couldn't, and finally really waiting to the last minute, we had to pivot, and we ended up running 3 weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks early, at the Across the Years 100-mile in Phoenix, Arizona. And that race is a great race for first-timers, and flat, and less than a 2-mile loop, so you're always near your aid station and so forth. But training was cut short. I probably didn't do enough running on my being on my legs as I should. Nutrition, a lot of lessons learned there, and it took me forever. I had enrolled in the 48-hour cutoff, and you still get the 100-mile buckle if you complete it. And I was on my feet for over 35 hours, and in terrible pain the last 30 miles. But we did it. But it certainly left a hole in my spirit. And so I set about training for the next year, which is this past March, a year ago this weekend. And that race was the Jackpots Ultra 100 miler. And that again is a short loop kind of run, very doable, great support. And I was able to get my timing way down, and I was able to finish just above my goal, which was a 30-hour, and missed it by about 25 minutes. So, I know the mistakes I made, and I know what to do to correct that. So the campaign going forward is going to be to do that sub finally and check that box. And I know I'll do it. And I'm hoping that the lessons I've learned will be able to help others do sub 30s. A lot of you are thinking you can do it in 24 or 27 for a first time. Until you do it, good luck to you. Aim conservatively. Just get that buckle initially, and then you can fix that time as you go. But here's my recipe. Over the next 10 weeks, I'll go over each of the 10 major lessons, and I'll share this with you. And obviously, one size doesn't fit all, and you may need to adjust, and probably will, as I do, along the way. So happy trails out there. For those of you who are thinking about doing the 100 and might be in the Phoenix area at the end of the year, probably going to run on the 31st of December 24 and then finish on the 1st of January. So that's why they call it across the years. So, I'll share my training schedule, some strategy plans, things like that as I develop them. And I will this summer, starting in July when I start my formal training program, give you weekly updates as you prepare as well for your own race. So let me know if you're interested, and I look forward to hearing from you as we go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go get 'em. Get the sprint.
Thank you too. Good seeing you. I got something there. They all look